is out, and we've made a day to go down to the beach and do somersaults and just enjoy ourselves. Coming from our north is a man in what looks like very inexpensive polyester, very pasty skin, hair blowing in the wind with all these scraggly curls, and nothing seemed normal from the second I dialed in on this guy. Nothing. He walked up and he said, "Can I take your pictures?"
On June 20th, 1979, here at Huntington Beach, a 12-year-old girl by the name of Robin Samsoe and her best friend Bridget would meet here on the beach for a nice day of playing in the sand. A man approached them, asking if he could take pictures of them in their bathing suits. Now, Robin, being the cheerful, nice child she was, agreed, but a neighbor saw the interaction happening and was like, no, something really weird is afoot here. And she came over and she intercepted the situation. Once they realized what time it was, Robin realized she was late getting to somewhere she needed to be, which was her ballet school. I've read that she was working here to pay for classes, and her best friend, of course being a good friend, was like, well, since you're late, you can take my bike. Now, the two of them would leave the beach and travel to the best friend, which her name was Bridget, her apartment. It was from there at that apartment that Robin would leave on a yellow bike. Reportedly, somewhere near here, where we're standing on the Huntington Beach Pier, was the last place Robin was seen, that she was taken. Robin was reported missing. Now, the best friend and the neighbor got together with police and they created a description of the man that approached the two girls on the beach. And that description was that of Rodney Alcala, the dating game killer. 12 days later, Robin's remains were found at the foothills of Sierra Madres. Now, the two rangers that found the remains, one of them actually thought the bones belonged to a deer. And they didn't realize that they were looking at a little girl. But it said that she was missing like part of her foot. Her skull was detached from the neck bone. There was a knife and I think a shoe found near the body. And one of the rangers reported seeing a man lead a little girl down to a stream in the area the same day that Robin went missing, and reported that the vehicle that she saw sitting there was one that Rodney Alcala actually owned at the time. Just entering the pier here at Huntington Beach, you will find a plaque, one that's dedicated to Robin herself. Robin Samsoe, 1966-1979. This memorial stands in honor of her, a child taken from this world too soon. The plaque was actually put there as a memorial and as a symbol because it said that it was placed there near the area where she was taken, which is here at the beginning of the pier. So it would have been somewhere along this area where little Robin was riding her bike. Now, I'm sure the area has grown up immensely since 1979. But it would have been right through here where he would have taken a little girl and it did awful things to her. We've made our way to Good Shepherd Cemetery to visit the final resting place of Robin. This is only a few miles from where the plaque stands. Now, thanks to the neighbor and her best friend's description, police were able to locate Rodney's mother's house.
They obtained a search warrant for his mother's residence where he was living.
They don't find any forensic evidence linking Rodney Alcala to the murder of Robin Samsoe, but they do find a receipt for a storage unit in Seattle.
They go to Seattle and they search the locker, finding photos of numerous girls and earrings. Now, one pair of earrings they found was a gold set that Robin's mother said belonged to her. Now, remember when I said earlier that Rodney was the dating game killer? It was from the TV show, The Dating Game, that Rodney would claim later that he previously owned the earrings because you could see him wearing them in the show. So that's what he kind of used to be like, no, these didn't belong to Robin, blah, blah, blah. Now, on that particular episode of The Dating Game, when he was on it, he actually won.
Well, let's see. Bachelor number one is a successful photographer. His father found him in the dark room at the age of 13, fully developed. Please welcome Rodney Alcala. Rod, welcome. Number one, would you say hello to Cheryl, please?
We're going to have a great time together, Cheryl.
In retrospect, it has got to be one of the creepiest moments on TV.
Bachelor number one.
Yes.
What's your best time?
The best time is at night, nighttime.
He, like, a question that the girl asked him was like, if you were a food and, you know, I was serving you for dinner, describe to me what your food would be and what you would look like. So he come back and said, I would be a banana and I would look good, and then leaned over and was like, peel me.
Well, I like bananas, so I'll take one.
Number one. Bachelor number one. All right.
Needless to say, the line won. He won. She met him backstage, and she reported that he was too creepy. He was not, you know, this hot piece of dude that she thought he was going to be. He was just a creep, and that she opted out and never went on the date with him, which was probably a good thing, because in that locker, they also found things that belonged to other women that had been murdered. And he would go to court 2 times and be found guilty both times, but then the sentences were overturned both times.
Today, in a 5-1 decision, the California State Supreme Court ruled that Rodney Alcala did not receive a fair trial.
There's been a gross miscarriage of justice for being found guilty of something that I didn't do, and I think the case will be reversed on appeal.
Will Rodney Alcala ever be put to death in your estimation? Not if I can have anything to do with it.
Just can't believe that we have to be punished for what he did. He's got nothing to do but gain. And all we have to do is be destroyed and be pulled down a little bit further. I don't know if we can, really.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Rodney James Alcala, guilty of the crime of felony.
Death. That's the only penalty that could ever be rendered in a case such as this.
In 2010 is actually like with the help of like the development of like DNA testing and being able to test blood better than what it was back in those years. Right. The things that they got from the locker, like a pair of earrings, they were actually able to use, not Robin's earrings, but a second pair. They were actually able to use those to tie him to one of the other girls. So he was actually found guilty that 3rd time, and it stuck.
Yeah, 3rd time's charm.
And I think he ended up passing away, like not because he died and like they killed him in prison, like he passed away of some kind of natural causes, like while he was in prison. But he went on like try to sue like the state or something, And he actually wrote a book while he was in prison, all about the whole, like, he didn't do it. Needless to say, that's what he was trying to say.
So the way they got this headstone made with the sun, it's really hard to see. Like, there's no, it's like all the white in the letters has been rubbed off, but there's an angel here. It says born again June 20th 1979, and then she was born December 13th 1966, born again June 20th 1979. So born again instead of died. It says Robin Christine Samsoe, our little angel up here at the top, 2 doves on each side, beloved granddaughter and beloved daughter dash and sister. Beloved daughter and sister. So it's nice. It's a nice red one compared to all the darker black ones out here. But it's just with the smoothness of it and the lettering not, you know, being white or being worn out just with time. It's kind of hard to see in the sun. And she is laid to rest. Sucks what happened to her.
It was good that they finally got some justice.
Yeah.
Like all the victims did. Because in the first 2 trials, they were just trying to convict him for Robin, not the other 4 girls. But in that last trial that actually stuck, they got him for all 5.
I gotcha. Well, justice was served at least. Special shout out to our VIP Road Warrior patron, Crip Lady. Thank you for your patronage each month. Thank you for watching this video, and catch you guys down the road at the next exit.
Keep it spooky.